One of my favorite things to do when I'm in Langa is to take walks, take a lot of walks, especially when I haven't been home in a while. I'll just take a tote bag, put my camera in there and take a walk. When I do walk around late afternoon, mid-afternoon, I find a lot of sports activities that are linked to the community. So the image that I'm sharing with you guys today is a fairly recent image. I made the image last year when I was in Cape Town for the bedroom tour. After the bedroom tour, I was unwinding after all of that stress of planning. I went back to my photographer self. I took a walk around Langa and I came across, first I took a walk in the morning and I came across a group of netball players. They're busy, eJohnson, Ngwevela. I hope I'm right, I always get this wrong. Opposite Guga'Sthebe, Johnson, Ngwevela, right? Yeah. So baby busy pana, they were practicing and just like doing their thing, sharpening their skill. I approached the coach, I spoke to the coach because I didn't want to just take out the camera, start making images. I don't like it, so no one I spoke to them and they were keen for me to just hang out and photograph. I did that, and that led to an invitation for later on that Friday for me to come back and join another group that would be practicing in the evening. Later that afternoon, I made my way back to eJohnson, Ngwevela, where I found another group of netball players. Bebene playoffs. So it was local teams to Langa playing against one another, and it's something that happens every Friday, I think between 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. So on this day, I hung out like probably for, I think at most I hung out that day 45 minutes, observing, watching the game, just like taking in everything that was happening. What I really like about that image is, I was part of my time at eJohnson Ngwevela that day, that evening. I was making images on the other side of the court, netball court, up until it was time for me to go home. So that image was made when I was like, okay, cool, I'm done. As I'm walking my cameras in my tote, and then something is like, turn around. So I turn around and then I see this picture. I'm like, oh my God, it's such a dope picture, man. Like, you see there's a picture behind in the background of that image where it's like people with their hands stretched out. It's like a protest or celebration of some sort. I don't know what the context is exactly of that drawing or painting or photograph in the background of that image, but I like how the people in that image have their hands up and the shadows in the image are stretching out in the forefront, and then you have the players running towards the person that has the ball. And when I got home, I didn't realize it looked like that. I knew it was dope because of the shadows, but I didn't know how the whole frame looked up until I got home and exported the images. I really enjoy it because of the movement in the image. You can tell like I made it black and white. So originally it was in color, but for me it's slapped in black and white, and I left it like that. But I do wish though I had I thought quick, I should have moved back like 2 steps behind, so that there's a shadow in the forefront of the image that's a bit cut. I think had I had that entire shadow, for me it would have been complete. But human error, so I allow myself that as well. So that's the one thing I really enjoy about that image. Since then I've kept contact with the coach. We speak on WhatsApp. Photography allows me to give context to things. It allows me to give context to things because photography gives me access to people, to things and places that I'm interested in. It helps me demystify a lot of stigmas about Langa, because many people warn me not to go Langa. I mean, not to walk around with my camera Langa. But I go against that because I believe it's my duty to, have my own perception about these stereotypes that people tell me about the place that I live in. So yeah, it's like I forge relationships through the camera, Langa.